And celebrity chef Paula Deen is facing new controversy. Deen is admitting she used a racial slur in the past. Mark Strassman looks at the impact it could have on her reputation and career.
Let's come on down here.
Paula Deen is the blunt-talking matriarch of Southern cooking, oozing charm while spooning out heaping dollops of butter.
Is a half a stick of butter.
I'm surprised.
But news that she has used the N-word has caused an uproar.
I do believe that a large populace of her Southern fan base will find the word that she chose to use offensive, particularly since she has a large African-American fan base.
CBS This Morning obtained transcripts from a deposition she gave last month, part of a racial discrimination and sexual harassment suit against Deen, her restaurants, and her brother, Ernest Bubba Hires. "Have you ever used the N-word yourself?" the plaintiff's lawyer asked her. "Yes, of course," Deen answered. "Okay, in what context?" "Well, it was probably when a black man burst into the bank that I was working at and put a gun to my head." "Well, then, when did you use it?" "Probably telling my husband." Deen added, "But that's just not a word that we use as time has gone on. Things have changed since the 60s in the South."
Context is never an excuse for using derogatory statements towards any group or race of people.
The lawsuit against Deen, filed by a former employee at one of her restaurants, also claims she used the N-word to describe black waiters she supposedly wanted to hire for a plantation-themed wedding. "Is there any possibility in your mind that you slipped and used the word?" she was asked. "No, because that's not what these men were. They were professional black men doing a fabulous job." Deen, whose empire spans restaurants and books in addition to her TV appearances, is no stranger to controversy. Last year, she faced criticism for continuing to promote high-fat, high-calorie food some 3 years after learning she was diabetic.
I think that these mishaps are beginning to chip away at that brand equity, and now we're beginning to question everything that Paula Deen says.
Deen's lawyer said she does not condone or find the use of racial epithets acceptable, and that she's looking forward to her day in court. For CBS This Morning, Mark Strassman, Atlanta.
I want to apologize to everybody for the wrong that I've done. I want to learn and grow from this. Inappropriate, hurtful language is totally, totally unacceptable. I've made plenty of mistakes along the way, but I beg you, my children, my team, my fans, my partners, I beg for your forgiveness. Please forgive me for the mistakes that I've made.
Okay, it's time for a rant, because today Paula Deen, a nice old lady, 66 years old, has to humble herself and come and apologize for using nigger, for saying nigger. Oh, I said it. That's right. I said it. And you know what I'm ranting about? Not what she said, because that's no big deal. Because every rapper, every black youth, everybody says nigger. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Except you're white, then it's offensive. But what bothers me even more is mainstream media. Mainstream media saying the N-word instead of nigger or nigger. The N-word. Oh, Paula Deen, she uttered the N-word. And what are you, fucking children, huh? The N-word? Babies? Baby, was it the F-word? You know, there's a lot of other N-words that are pretty bad, like non-issue, like news that's total bullshit, bait and switch. She said the N-word. Grow the fuck up. Say it in quotes. She said nigger. She said nigger. So what? You know, Django said nigger too. I mean, where the hell do you get off having any word that's just like, think about it. Even as a black, think about it. Think about it. We can't say, the whiteys can't say nigger or nigga because it incites them. It incites them. Isn't that condescending? Isn't that like saying, oh, don't get the blacks riled up, they'll have a riot. Oh, them blacks. Isn't just saying that. Isn't saying N-word instead of nigger. Isn't that like a tacit admission that black people are not intelligent enough to shrug it off, to just look at it and consider the source and who's saying it? Seriously, that's what upsets me. That this eggshell walking, this political correctness, it's horse shit. You want to focus on an issue, focus on the fact that Barack Obama, our president, is bombing people, human beings with drone missiles overseas. And Americans are included on that little executive order. That's an obscenity. Nigga.
This morning, Paula Deen went on the Today Show saying she was not a racist and that the one time she ever used the N-word was after she was robbed at gunpoint. Take a look.
You have never used the N-word other than that one occasion.
No, it's just not a part of who we are.
Would you have fired you?
Would I have fired me? Knowing me? No. If there's anyone out there that has never said something that they wish they could take back, if you're out there, please pick up that stone and throw it so hard in my head that it kills me. Please, I want to meet you.
Can I just go ahead? Yeah,
I was just going to say, you know, this is an apology tour, and you know, listen, I've said stuff. You know, stuff has come out of my mouth, and I know it can happen. But
I just wanted to read this. The author Anne Rice, who is from New Orleans, defended Paula Deen. I just want to read what she said because she brought in another aspect of it. She said, "It's so easy to persecute an older, overweight, unwise, crude, ignorant woman who may very well be a good person at heart who has achieved a great deal in her life." Wait. She said it's so easy to vilify her and destroy her life. Woe to anyone today who is not slender, young, clever, and politically correct. What do you feel about that?
Anything to do with anything.
And I think as far as what you say about, you know, yes, we've all said things, but I think the problem here is not just the one thing. No. It's you know, because we don't just say you're racist for one thing. It's things that you've done that don't match up. It's like not only that, but you said you want to throw a plantation-style wedding. Yeah. You've taught your kids not to use the N-word in a mean way. You know, so it's
people bringing cases to you that say, look, you've been discriminated against me,
that's
right?
not the issue. It's just
she kind of prefabricates also because
but we've been talking about this for days. She's apologized. She's cried.
The Food Network announced it will not renew the contract of celebrity chef Paula Deen. This comes just days after she admitted to using racial slurs in the past. Deen issued an apology yesterday, but as Ben Tracy reports, it was too little, too late.
I want to apologize to everybody for the wrong that I've done. I want to learn and grow from this.
And she'll have time to do it. The Food Network dropped the Queen of Southern Cooking after she admitted to using racial slurs.
Hey you guys, so Paula Deen used the N-word and now she's fired from Food Network, and my take on this situation is that you get what you deserve. You know, I can't say that she was in the right because she was old. No, you're a public figure. You're a public figure. You shouldn't have used that word, Paula, and your apology did not seem sincere. And people are like, oh, she's just old, you know. No, she shouldn't have used that word, and no one should use that word.
Hey everybody, this is Chris Stafford with Massive Abundance, and my mission is to really help entrepreneurs and realtors rock out their businesses so they really can propel them to huge, massive success. And I heard recently in the news that Paula Deen, who's a well-known cooking chef, said something bad. She used the N-word. Not good, Paula. But listen, there is, in the field of entrepreneurship, and if you're a realtor right now, there is another word that starts with N that's just as bad, and that is being negative, negativity. This is the killer of all businesses. And this is so key because the massive abundance...
Hey, how you doing, folks? This is Don. It's the wise guy. I'm going for a drive right now. And I wanted to comment on Paula Deen. I don't even listen to her. I don't listen to her. I never watched her. I don't know much about her, but I heard what happened to her. And I heard that she said the word Negro in the derogatory term, which would be nigger, you know, in the black culture. She said that word 20 years ago, and she apologized. She said, oh, I'm very sorry I said that. You know, this and that and the other thing, beat a butt, whatever the fuck, right? Anyway, long story short, a lot of people cut and ran from her, including Kmart, Walmart. They all decided, you know what? She's a fucking pariah. We can't have that. And we have to cut our ties to her. So they cut their ties to Paula Deen because of a racial epithet, whatever the fuck you want to say, that she said 20 years ago, whatever the fuck, and she apologized for it. But anyway, I'm wondering when Walmart and fucking Kmart are going to go down to the CD rack and clear out all the Lil Wayne fucking tracks and all the other racist fucking bullshit they got in their CD rack. That ain't going to happen, is it? The fucking hypocritical United States that we live in. These race-baiting motherfuckers, you know what? Fuck them all right in their narrow asses. Really. Alright, I just want to check in with that. Alright? We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Alright, peace and greetings, YouTubers. So the world is at a divide once again because of the Paula Deen situation. As you know, Paula Deen's show has recently been pulled from the Food Network and will not be renewed for the next upcoming season. People are up in arms and losing their stuff because they feel that I guess maybe the Food Network is making an example out of Paula Deen, or that people are overreacting once again, and black people just complain all the freaking time because they just think their whole life is so horrible and I wish they would just shut up. You know, that's what I've been hearing on the comments and everything. So let me go ahead and give my 2 cents on everything. Now, Paula Deen, originally when I heard the story and I heard, okay, she used the N-word, I was like, I feel some type of way about it. I don't agree with her. She's in the wrong for that, but I probably wouldn't pull her show off the network. But then I heard the backstory that came along with her usage of the word, and then the fact that she proudly admitted that she used the word. Now, actually, I respected her for being honest and saying, you know, hey, yeah, I said the word, okay. I was like, cool, you're upfront about it? That's how I like it. I like when people are just upfront about their ignorance. It just makes it so much easier to tear them apart. But, you know, looking at it from a network point of view, saying if I'm a representative from the Food Network, I wouldn't want to endorse or support a person who blatantly, you know, uses the N-word, who has a horrible history of relationships with black people as far as how they run their business, as far as their black employees not being allowed to come in through the front door, having to enter through the back door, not being allowed to use certain sides of the kitchen, not being allowed to host at the front, not being allowed to do certain things that normal everyday people should be allowed to do, having to deal with playing certain stereotypical roles, like, I don't know, the slave wedding that she was originally planning to do, where the slaves have on a nice little cute white suits and button, the freaking bow ties, you know, great stuff like that. You know, stuff like that doesn't look too well when you're a network, because people are like, if you're supporting this, we don't support you. And that's, from a business perspective, people don't want that association.
I'm Kim Severson with the New York Times here in Savannah, Georgia, taking a deeper look into Paula Deen's empire. I spoke with Dora Charles, a black cook who for 20 years helped Paula run her kitchens. They were so close, Paula called Dora her soul sister. But now Dora Charles is telling a very different story about life with Paula Deen.
So did you two get along right away? Were you fast friends?
We hit it off real good. She started calling us soul sisters.
Dora and I have been together for about 18 years.
Yes.
She is in charge of that kitchen at the Lady and Sons. If it's a southern dish, you better not put it out unless it passes this woman's tongue.
So you were working 7 days a week with her?
That's 6 days. Yeah. I'm working 6 days a week with her.
And so she started the First Lady and Son at 311 Congress.
At 311 Congress.
And you were her main cook in there, right?
Yes.
Did she talk to you about your partnership, about whether you'd come along with her as she got famous?
Yes. She said, stick with me one day. If I get rich, you get rich.
But it sounds like it just passed you by.
It just passed me by. You know, I'm not gonna run behind her and say, you promised me, where my half, where my part, you know. It wasn't all about that. Actually, all I was looking for was a good salary.
How much money were you making when she started her Food Network show?
I was just making $6.50.
$6.50 an hour?
In a statement to the Times, Mrs. Deen's publicity team dismissed her claims. Her grievances, they said, are about money, not race. The statement describes her as, quote, an employee that despite over 20 years of generosity, feels that she still deserves yet even more financial support from Paula Deen.
I told her at times I didn't have enough money to buy my own medication. We were sitting across the table, long table, and she said it didn't reach me. And she said, here's $100. Go buy your medicine.
All the stories that we've heard about her wanting a plantation wedding that had black men dressed in suits, concerns about how she treated black employees,
whether or not she used racial slurs. You feel all this is true?
Yeah, she wanted Jello Roll and I to dress like that as well.
At the wedding?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like Paula Deen is racist in that way?
I do. I do.
Have you ever heard Paula Deen use the N-word?
I've heard her use the N-word. She say, I tell y'all niggers, that's what's wrong with y'all niggers now today.
Why are you coming forward now to tell your story?
Because they didn't give me what I deserve. They didn't give me nothing I deserve. Everything I got, I worked for it. Even my own co-workers think that I've been treated the best. They think I live in a mansion. And it's just time that everybody knows that Paula Deen don't treat me the way they think she treat me.
At the time of this interview, Mrs. Charles was still working for Mrs. Deen at the Lady & Sons, though the two don't speak anymore. She hasn't made other employment plans, but holds on to her dream of one day opening her own restaurant.
This is Nita Jones, or as we affectionately call her, Jelly Roll. And on the dining room floors at the Lady & Sons, we have a little kitchen area where we cook our biscuits and our hoe cakes, because folks just love coming by and seeing those being cooked. And Nita cooks the biscuits and hoe cakes on the first floor. Folks love this woman. I don't know why, but they love her.
Oh, you know why.
Listen, she is a sport and a half, y'all. Nita and I have got a challenge for y'all today. What's the challenge this week, Nita?
Cooking these cheese biscuits. And I see them in my sleep. When I get up in the morning, all I can say, I'm going to cook these darn whole cakes and these darn biscuits.
You've been defending her, and I'm wondering if you're at all personally offended, and if you think that there's something else about Paula Deen that makes you like her and appreciate her far beyond that ugly word.
Far beyond that ugly word, because she stated that she used the word, but it wasn't in a way, a negative way. Just because you said the word, the N-word, doesn't make you a racist. I believe to be a racist, it has to be some type of action shown towards the opposite race in a hate way or a negative way. To say that she's a racist because she admitted to verbally saying the word, the N-word, doesn't make her a racist.
Well, tell us more. Tell us more about that, sir. When you refer to Paula Deen trying to help African Americans, I know what you're talking about, but our viewers might not. What exactly are you talking about?
My personal friend, Hollis Johnson, was employed by Ms. Dean years ago, and we prayed together about him accepting the job, and he accepted it years ago. Now, from where he's come from being attached and connected to this woman, is phenomenal. This guy is majorly successful, and he has a limousine company and an executive limousine company that Ms. Dean gave hundreds of thousands of dollars, over $100,000 to help finance this vision of my best friend, Hollis Johnson, to start his own company. Will a racist do that? Will somebody that's racist help an African-American black male not only pursue his dream, but fulfill his dream to going into business for himself? That's the American dream, for somebody to be an entrepreneur. Why would a racist do that? That doesn't make sense.
You have a pride about the South that you can articulate, and how do you place the racism and the slavery within that?
I do. You know, and it's funny. I feel like the South is almost less prejudiced because black folks played such an integral part in our lives. They were like our family. Oh. And we didn't see ourselves as being prejudiced.
Do you feel how is it now? How do you feel race relations are in the South these days?
Well, I think they're pretty good. I think they're good, but you know, it will take a long time. It will take a long, long time for it to completely be gone, if it'll ever be gone. Who knows?
Right.
I think we're all prejudiced against one something or another, and I think black people feel the same prejudice, you know, that white people feel. But I have a young man in my life, and his name is Paula'S Johnson, and he's black as that board.
Here? Isn't he here?
Stand up, Paula'S.
Is Paula'S here?
Come
Hi,
out here,
Paula'S.
Paula'S. We can't see you standing against that dark board.
Welcome to New York City. All right.
Welcome to the South.
Hi, Paula'S.
But you know, I tell people, this is my son by another father.
Yeah.
I mean, I
There's
love
some
this
breaking
young
news.
man. I would travel to hell with him, and I know I can trust him with my life, and color ain't got nothing to do with it. It's all about what's in here.
Paula'S. Thank you.
Why is it a black person can call another black person the N-word, but a white person can't call that same black person the N-word? Some blacks have adopted the word as a word they use when talking to one another. When a white person calls a black person a nigger, it means something different than a black person calling another black person a nigga. Nigga is a black colloquialism used in place of words like man, guy, or dude. A black person will usually be offended when any other nationality calls them anything remotely sounding like the word nigger. When someone of any other nationality calls a black person a nigger, they perceive it to mean that the person is saying, I think no more of you than white people thought of black people 200 years ago. You are ignorant, inferior, and less than human. The word nigger is offensive to black people because it brings to mind the horrific brutality and grief that blacks suffered under the hands of white people. That's the end of the theory. Let me make it plainly clear. In no way is this theory meant to validate the use of the N-word. It is a word that should be abolished. It should not be used. Whites understand it. That's why they shy away from the word. Blacks should have that same attitude and not use it. It is a negative that can't be turned into a positive, no more than cancer can be turned into a good thing. It is a word that brings to mind a horrible time period in American history.
Man, will y'all give me a freaking break? Paula Deen, I applaud you for admitting that you use racial slurs and wanted to plan a plantation-style wedding and all that. You ain't the only white person that's used the N-word. Listen, you're just the only one that's stupid enough to admit it. All races, white people, black people, Asian people, Mexican people, they all use the N-word. Some people use it in a different way. They might say nigga. Some might say the ER. The racist people say the ER. Little young hip-hop cats and everybody's trying to be cool, whatever, they use the nigga. But let me tell you guys something. Racism will never end. What's wrong with y'all? The only reason I'm not using Paula Deen's chicken recipe with my watermelon because I'm protesting her ass. Look, nobody likes black people. Black people don't even like black people. I'm keeping it real. I'm just keeping it real. There's a different class of black people. There's classy black people that you want to be your neighbors. And then there's ghetto black people that you want to stay in the ghetto and be the other ghetto people neighbors. It's just real. It's just real. It's reality. People, wake up. Racism will never end. You got people smiling in your face every single day, and they go home and use the N-word and laugh and giggle about it. But they're smart. They're smart. They're really, really smart. They don't admit it. They don't tell people they use it. I know some people personally that use the ER, the N-word, as y'all say. Give me a break.
Hey everybody, David here. Was watching the news over this past week about Paula Deen, the cook lady on the Food Network. I think the media is over broadcasting the whole N-word thing with her. Who has not used the N-word? I think we're all guilty of it. Not intentionally using it as derogatory, but well, we've all have used it. I looked up some other celebrities who have been caught using the N-word, and Paris Hilton did it in 2007. Madonna called President Obama a Muslim, and she also used the N-word on stage. Gwyneth Paltrow has been caught using the N-word. Even John Mayer has. And you don't see them being criticized and like being sued for millions or losing money because they got caught using the N-word. I mean, yes.
That's music to a cracker's ears.
Howdy angels! So Paula Deen was fired from the Food Network for using the N-word, which made me wonder, would she have been fired if she was black? Or how about me? I'm gay, so a lot of people would say it's alright for me to use the word faggot. In fact, I know a lot of gay guys who use it in place of, hey girl. But is it really alright for us as a minority group to use derogatory language in an exclusionary manner? Or does that just set us apart from our overall objective of global acceptance? Tell me what you think.
Hi, this is Beverly Mahone, your media trainer, with a response to the Paula Deen apology video. In case you haven't heard, Paula Deen has admitted to using the N-word in a deposition in response to a lawsuit being filed against her by one of her former employees. This lawsuit accuses Ms. Deen and her brother of sexual harassment and of racial harassment. Now, Paula says she believes the media is blowing this whole thing out of proportion. Really, Paula? That's what you think? Paula Deen is 60 years old. Now, she's a baby boomer, and yes, there was a period in time where the N-word was slung around like biscuits in her world. But this is 2013. Paula Deen and every other baby boomer needs to be sensitive that the N-word is not appropriate, and especially for someone who is in the public eye and someone who is admired not only by whites, but by blacks and other minorities as well. So, Paula, you honestly believe the media is blowing this out of proportion? I think the media, in this case, served the public interest.
She may have been already dropped by the Food Network and key sponsor Smithfield Foods, but former TV cooking show host Paula Deen's troubles are far from being over, with other top companies looking to cut their ties with the cook over the recent controversy of her use of racial slurs. However, the beleaguered TV personality is not without a few supporters willing to come to her defense. Deen's sons, Bobby and Jamie, have finally spoken up about the whole thing, branding it character assassination. Now her mother is one of the most compassionate, good-hearted, empathetic people that you'd ever meet. These accusations are very hurtful to her, and it's very sad, says Bobby about the woman who raised them not to be bigoted towards others.
The further right you are, the worse it gets.
So it's a very rough it's a double standard.
Well,
and it's a very rough double standard. Paula Dean was absolutely crucified. What they did with her, I don't know what even happened to her. I see everybody dropped her. She has really got some problems. It's amazing.
Oh, they absolutely crushed her. So Charlie Rangel's 83, but what about? You could say, well, maybe he doesn't know what he's saying, but the people who consistently demand the Paula Deans of the world be crushed and driven out of the public conversation, shouldn't they be forced to take a stand on this? Where's Obama in this?
Well, they're not going to take a stand, Tucker, and Obama is going to take a pass, and they're all going to take a pass, and that's the way the country is right now. We have a very divided country, and that's the way it is, and get used to it, because it's not changing very fast.
Get used to it. We got to wrap it up there. Have a fantastic week.
Hey guys, this is Big Daddy's A1000 here for you guys. Okay guys, today we're talking about Paula Dean saying the N-word. You know, after all that gossip and stuff and everything that been happening to her just because she said the N-word, all her kitchen stuff in every store, I think in every store, were gone. Okay, like, when I went to Walmart yesterday, I was just about to go to a different section while I was passing through the kitchen stuff. And then when I turned, no Paula Dean's kitchen stuff. Nothing, nada, nothing. The only thing that was there was Rachel Ray. I saw her face everywhere, like there, like, I'm like, whoa. Just because she said the N-word, her stuff, her kitchen stuff were gone. Well guys, that's all I gotta talk about today. I hope you like my video and I hope you subscribe. But before I leave, I gotta say, did you get offended when Paula Dean said the N-word, or you didn't? Well guys, bye.
Hi, this is Danger Man, the urban superhero, and this is another Danger Man moment. I wanted to comment briefly on this Paula Dean situation. I've been hesitant and waiting, and so it's been, I guess, almost a week now, and I think today she lost another sponsor, so it's Food Network and Smithfield Foods, okay? And I've never been a big fan of Paula Dean because I really never heard of her. So, she's a Southern lady, and people like her show. There's some kookiness about it. Some of the products, some of the foods that she, as a chef, that she's recommending that are like, making a sandwich out of donuts or something, but. I don't have, I can't witness the fact that what she said as far as the N-word. I know I get called the N-word every day on YouTube, okay? I wish somebody would fire those people, okay? Make them lose their jobs, okay? It's like, what's up with that, all right? So, anyway, I'm not here. I can't really say whether she should have been fired or, whether she should lose her sponsors or not, okay? I don't know what's in her heart. I've heard her apologies. I thought they didn't appeal to me. I didn't like them. I thought they were kind of contrived. But whether she should lose her job or not, I mean, that's, but her fan base, they love her, okay. And I guess she said the N-word to some of her employees, and, some of it seemed kind of kooky, and so decisions have been made, okay? You just have to watch what you say. I wish somebody would talk to these people on YouTube and tell them, have them to get more in the third grade education, okay? So, anyway, I wish Paula Dean the best, okay? I wish her the best, and I hope things work out for her, whatever way they should work out, and she should, she'll move on, and I'm sure she'll do better. I mean, she'll get over it, So, anyway, this is Danger Man, the urban superhero, and this is my comment on Paula Dean. I've had some people ask me, Danger Man, how come you don't comment on Paula Dean and saying the N-word, okay? Well, I'm commenting, okay? All right. And this is all I have to say on the subject, okay? I wish her luck, and, you know, and God knows what's in her heart, and, you know, so good luck, Paula Deen, and so, this is Danger Man, and this is another Danger Man moment. I have more dangerous things I need to be talking about, okay? You guys have a great day, be safe out there, and watch your backs, okay? Thanks, bye.
Celebrity chef Paula Deen is at the center of a career-threatening controversy because of her admitted use of the so-called N-word. But many African Americans use that word regularly, which sends a mixed message to society. Why is it okay for some to use it but not others? It's your call on the N-word, and our discussion starts right now.
I want to apologize.
Paula Deen admits she lost everything during the scandal when she used the N-word. You supposed to, Paula Deen. You look like you broke. Paula Deen, you ain't got no money, and this is the way it's supposed to be. Paula Deen, you messed yourself up. This is on you, Paula Deen. It's not on nobody else. You used the N-word scandal. You tried to cover it up. You don't like black people, so you're supposed to lose everything. This is the way it's supposed to be, Paula Deen. You caused this on yourself. We got no remorse for you, Paula Deen. We know you don't like black people. Your food and your cooking was terrible. Your pots and pans were terrible, Paula Deen. So we got no remorse. If you're looking for remorse, you're looking in the wrong place, Paula Deen. This is terrible. This is 100% crazy. You didn't do anything right. You did everything wrong. Paula Deen, this is on you. Remember, you caused this, Paula Deen, because you like to use the N-word on people. So we have no remorse. If you lose everything, if you do not get it back, that is on you, Paula Deen. That is on you, and it's going to stay on you. Welcome to America, where we remember everything. Your food was terrible, your pots and pans were terrible, and apparently your words were terrible as well.
Meantime, it is here in Houston that cooking celebrity Paula Deen makes her first public appearance today since a controversy over her use of the N-word sidetracked her career.
That's an ugly cry, Mama.
I'm sorry.
Sobbing into a Kleenex before an enthusiastic crowd at the Metropolitan Cooking and Entertaining Show, Deen admitted she'd learned a lot about herself since the scandal broke.
This is my first time out in 3 months. I've said all along that the one place that I would want to make my first step back out was Texas.
Paula Deen's show on the Food Network got canceled, and she lost lucrative endorsements after admitting in a civil deposition that she'd used racial slurs in the past. That lawsuit, alleging racial and sexual harassment, was eventually settled.
And I'm going to lay one like that.
Now Deen's fans are hoping she will settle back into another television kitchen.
Hi, I'm back.
And keep on cooking.
You know, I think it was just really blown out of proportion, and poor Paula, she was just trying to do the right thing and be honest, and she just really got crucified for it.
I think she's fabulous, and I think everybody should give her a second chance.
If you are so inclined, why Deen is making 2 more appearances tomorrow as the show goes on there at Reliance Center.
This might be old news, but Paula Deen was found not guilty of the previous slanderous remarks that was made by a previous employer. I don't want to get into it. You look it up for yourself, but she was found not guilty in the court of law. So anyway, good on you, Paula. But the damage has been done. All these deals and multi-million-dollar deals and food networks and all that who didn't stand by her, even though she had been found not guilty now, would be wishing that they actually stopped and listened before they rushed in. But anyway, I'm going to do my Obama lip.
All great songwriters write songs with social commentary. Here's mine. screen TV. I've learned to boil some water, cook fricassee. Cooking competitions get me all worked up inside. When they kicked that girl off the Master Chef, Lord, I hung my head and cried. Well, I've seen that Gordon Ramsay in his kitchen out of hell. Heard him cuss and scream, throw some things, oh, the stories I could tell. I've even heard the F word bleeped out a time or two. I've seen him hit a French dude with the bottom of his shoe. Well, I'm real confused about this current situation that has rocked our country down to its core. Now I flip through all my TV stations. It's not Benghazi or the IRS, it's got the people's soul. Why'd you say the N-word, Paula Deen? Miss your homemade cornbread, Southern style cuisine. We don't think you're trying to hate or trying to be obscene. But why'd you say the N-word, Paul Dean? Well, I know you tried to apologize, it didn't seem to do no good. You would think for all those years you were cooking in a hood. You said that you were sorry, you cried on NBC. But if I don't get my butter fix, it will be the end of me. So butter up some biscuits, fry some bacon in your pan. Forget about your past mistakes, Lord, and cook the best you can. Let the Yankees eat their tofu, but keep cooking with some class. And we'll all tell Matt Lauer, hey, y'all can kiss our ass. But why'd you say the N-word, Paula Dean? Well, miss your homemade cornbread, your Southern style cuisine. We don't think you were trying to hate or trying to be obscene. But why'd you say the N-word, Paula Dean? No, we don't think you were trying to hate or trying to be obscene. But why'd you say the N-word, Paula Dean?